So one of, if not the biggest things that Donald Trump ran on was undocumented immigration being a scourge to this nation, and how we got to get them all out. And folks that vote for Donald Trump, folks that support Donald Trump, took to the social media airwaves and were screaming, and still have been screaming from the mountaintops about how we got to get all of these undocumented immigrants out of the country, and how we got to punish the companies that hire them. That we can't just let these companies, we can't just take their employees, we got to punish the. I've had a million comments in my comment section to that effect, right? We got to punish these companies. So does that mean you guys are interested in shutting down Kid Rock? Because you see, as usual, you guys have been sold a bill of goods about somebody, and it turns out that they're the opposite of what you think they are, and they've made millions of dollars playing on your stupidity, right? So, like, you have Larry the Cable Guy. I don't know if you guys know who Larry the Cable Guy was before he became Larry the Cable Guy, but he was just a regular stand-up comedian that wore pants and a shirt and spoke normally, and it wasn't this buffoonish character. Same thing with Theo Von, right? I mean, he's a buffoonish character that idiots like the far right maggots like to follow, like to worship. Kid Rock is the same thing. Kid Rock was born into an extraordinarily wealthy family in Michigan. His father owned, I don't know if it was just a car dealership or a series of car dealerships, but they had money. Kid Rock grew up with money, but somehow convinced you guys that he was this poor backwoods southern boy so that he could get you to buy his fucking records. Then he blows up or shoots at Bud Light during the whole Bud Light trans issue, and gets caught weeks later drinking Bud Light at his club, right? Because he needs you to have a certain image of him in order for you to keep shelling out your money to him. Now we have this. Kid Rock's Nashville restaurant closed to avoid weekend ICE raids by Trump administration. Kid Rock's Nashville restaurant halted service amid fears that it would be raided by Immigration and Customs Enforcement on Saturday, May 10th. The Nashville-based musician, a longtime supporter of Donald Trump, reportedly had the doors of his namesake restaurant, Kid Rock's big-ass honky-tonk rock and roll steakhouse, closed per Nashville Scene. The move came after employees without U.S. work authorization did not show up for work on Saturday, and those who did show were told to go home in order to avoid ICE detention. The singer has a long history with Trump himself. Kid Rock visited Trump in the White House in 2017, golfed with Trump while wearing American flag pants in 2019, and recently performed at the president's Make America Great Again victory rally to celebrate Inauguration Day. Kid Rock's restaurant, as well as two others in Nashville that were also shut down over the weekend, are owned by Steve Smith, a conservative restaurant and Trump supporter, the outlet reported. Officials from the Immigration Agency were present in Nashville on Saturday, joining forces with the Tennessee Highway Patrol to intercept immigrants lacking permanent legal status, ICE revealed on May 13th. The presence was part of a weekend-long targeted enforcement operation, per ICE's news release, and allegedly sought to remove immigrants who pose a threat to public safety. According to ICE's data, less than half of the detainees had prior criminal records. A total of 196 people were arrested, the news release stated. Due to the extensive ICE presence, many employees who are immigrants opted to call out of work so as not to be detained while traveling to or from work. We are already understaffed because of the ICE raids throughout the weekend, employee of one of the three restaurants who asked to remain anonymous told Nashville Scene. Then, around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, our manager came back and told everyone without legal status to go home. The source added the restaurant grew crazy busy, but there was no one in the kitchen to cook the food. A restaurant owned by a wealthy Trump supporter and named after another famous wealthy Trump supporter had to shut down because they had undocumented immigrants working in the kitchen? I'm sure we're going to hear some type of uproar over this from the conservative content creators on this platform, right? Of course we will.